Good morning. Namaste, and thanks for joining today. Really appreciate it. So this is Passages and Pranayama, where I take a little bit of philosophy and we practice a little bit of pranayama as well. Typically, I would, take something from some great ancient text or something like that, but this comes from like circa 1999 or 2000. so not that long ago. And this bit of wisdom comes from the hip hop artist Blackalicious. If you're unfamiliar with Blackalicious, I'm a big fan. I'm pretty sure that some critics would say maybe they're a little bit too on the nose. Maybe when it comes to their writing, as well as their name. I don't care. I think it's great. Great music. In this song, Make You Feel That Way is an excellent song. Check it out. Listen to it many times over because, the music's great. And what the Gift of Gab, who is the, one of the primary artists of Blackalicious, and I'm pretty sure he's attributed to the writing of the lyrics as well. He has this way, in most of his lyrics, has this way to, send the listener on a on a journey of truth. I was trying to avoid journey there, but but. It's clear that the Gift of Gab is must study, Buddhism, Taoism, yoga to whatever degree, because it really comes through in his lyrics. So let's get to those lyrics. I want to break them down for you, okay? So yeah, this is. Check it out. It's a great song. My daughter loves it, and it's great for kids. It's a good learning tool for kids. Okay, so the chorus, of course, is Make You Feel That Way, but let's go through some of the lyrics here. Now it says, "Up and early for the hope of a brand new day." I don't know about you. Well, it's kind of late. It's almost 7:00. For a lot of us who practice these arts, there's nothing quite like the quiet of a morning. See a homie you ain't seen since back in the day. And right away, he's trying to create this vision of a bit of nostalgia for sure. A bit of the, kind of like heartwarming nostalgia. Fresh haircut fitted with a fat ass fade. So if you would like to delete that part for kids, that's fine. End of work, we chilling on a Saturday. All right, feeling good. It's a Saturday. Trust me on this, by the way. How you felt when you first heard the data came. Rakim, KRS, hey, I had that tape. Again, a bit of nostalgia. Cooling out with old girl on a fat ass date. Find a $100 bill. Wow, man, that's great. Get promoted at your job up to management. Plot a long time. Finally, a plant has made it. So the idea here is, in these last two lines, find a $100 bill. Wow, man, that's great. Get promoted at your job up to management. Plot a long time. Finally, a plan has made it. I'm actually getting the chills thinking about this because, it's I think trying to speak to the listeners that. Be hopeful, right? If you have a plan, if you are, in the practice of yoga, there's a lot of faith in the method that we are practicing, right? And we hope that the method, of course, is going to pay out someday. Right? And we do the same thing with work and the relationships that we build. We have to put a certain amount of trust in, in that work we're doing or in the path that we're trying to take, right? Faith in it, right? And it, if we have that faith in it, that strong faith in it, it'll pay off. And that's what, again, the Gift of Gab is saying here. Time I feel, continuing. Time I feel I want to shout. Man, it's real that way. think of things that make you feel that way. And then the chorus goes on. We go to verse 2. Christmas Day, when your mama got your first bike. I don't know if anybody's, again, been in that experience, or ever had that experience before. But again, this is, kind of bringing back the feelings, those good feelings and nostalgia. Type of feeling when you went and won your first fight. There's some aggression there, but for a guy who, didn't really get in any fights growing up, and there was like one or two, kind of playground scuffles and stuff like that. There's no excuse for aggression. That's for sure. But when it comes to like being a kid and, these things kind of happen, when you win, it's good. When you lose, it doesn't feel all that good at the time, but there's great lessons in it. Okay. How your team felt winning championship games, celebrating in a huddle, dancing in this rain. That brings a lot back for me. I played football. I've actually been in that scenario, right? Winning the championship games, rain coming down in the huddle. You're so excited. Okay, going on. Have a thought, seeing a shooting star cross your screen, put in hard work. Finally, you're living your dream. Again, doing the hard work, putting it in. Things are paying off. Deaf man, get his hearing now. It comes in vibes. So this next little section is kind of cool. We're laying out the dichotomy of things a little bit. So deaf man gets his hearing now, comes in vibes. I can go on and on about this because sound has such great potential, right? Such great power in the practice of yoga. Right? That's why we practice mantra, but it's more about the vibrations, right? As I said, it comes in vibes, right? It comes in those vibrations of, anybody who watches, Avatar: The Last Airbender, you might know the character Toph. Right? Great little, she's an earthbender and she's blind, right? But she can see really well so long as she doesn't wear shoes, right? She keeps her feet on the ground. She can hear the vibrations. And from those vibrations, she can feel those vibrations, and thus, she can kind of hear what's, or see what's going on. Okay. Blind man gets sight, see his first sunrise. Dumb man speaking out, now he's loud and clear. Earth through your smile, so proud we hear you wear. All right. Going in your third eye for the styles you hear. All right, so obviously this is a direct nod to Eastern thought, this idea that using the third eye. And let's just expand on that a little bit, because this line, going in your third eye for the styles you hear. The third eye is all about intuition, right? It's what it's all about. It's about intuition, about tapping into deep wisdom that you've more or less, kind of forgotten about or have covered up with all the chaos that is your life, right? That is reality. So, whether it's like style or, or knowledge, right? Let's kind of pull that back a little bit. It's about like knowledge. It's deep intuitive knowledge that we have forgotten about, or again, we've covered up with all the, the chaos of our lives. Turning the mind, not the mind inward, but getting into that meditative state. We have these realizations, these revelations about, who we actually are, who, what styles we would wear, so to speak. We essentially become ourselves. We don't rely on others to kind of dictate, who we're going to be. We feel our true selves, and it comes out, right? And there's no one seeing it, right? There's no unfeeling that moment. Making music that'll bump for 1,000 years, eating right, feeling conscious like health is first. All right. So eating right, feeling conscious like health is first. So let's bring it down a little bit, right? So we go from like this idea of like being, in the third eye. We have this revelation about who we want to be, how we want to feel. And the thing that now comes up is like, hey, this is, what, I want to take care of this body, right? Because this is the way in which I'm going to reach that state of transcendence again, right? Be healthy. I'm going to be able to provide, safety, security for others as well through that health. Said a prayer that's sincere and you felt it work. Sincerity in prayer. There's something about this line, right? This said a prayer. All right. So said a prayer that's sincere. I can't describe how important this is, right? Because we can become so deluded in, kind of going through the motions. It's something we've got to really be careful, right? Those of us on the spiritual path. And I'm not going to make a very, blanket statement about religion, all right? But I want to say, broadly speaking, having been raised, Catholic, I haven't really attended Catholic church in probably decades now. So, I can't really speak to everyone in it. But, religion is a method, right? It's just like yoga. It's a method of, delivering spirituality. And you can have great faith in that method itself, right? Great faith in that religion. But there's also the possibility that you end up in this trap of just going through the motions. Right? And that's what ceremony and ritual is all about. It's kind of like you're just going through a bunch of motions. And that's something you got to be really careful of, because if you're just going through the motions, then there's no feeling in it. Right? So, as the gift of gab says here, right? Said a prayer that's sincere and you felt it work. That's sincere. This through the motions, and it could potentially be sincere, but it could also just be a part of that next motion. Be careful, be mindful of that. Times I feel like I want to shout. Man, it's real that way when I'm thinking things that make you feel that way. All right, going on to the third verse. All up in her vibe, something coming over me. Summer days, more likely than you notice breeze. All right, so here this just screams chapter 2 of the Tao Te Ching to me. Not the whole section, but parts of the section. Summer days, more likely that you notice breeze. All right, so summer days, hot, a breeze comes. Whoa, okay, here's the contrast to that heat. Winter days, more likely that you noticed heat, right? That you notice heat. Again, same thing, right? It's so cold, we feel this heat. And it's apparent. It's right there, right, in our face. When I'm warm, more likely that you notice me, right? So when I'm warm, what does he mean here? When I'm warm, it's not the literal warmth, right? It's the figurative warmth. It is the being nice, being kind, being respectful, right? It is the practice of our ethics. It is the yamas and the niyamas. That's what it is, right? If you want to be attractive, you don't have to like make this all look good. Right? It's got to come from the inside. Right? It's got to be through respect. It's got to be through kindness. Right? It's got to be through truthfulness. This is where, right, a real attraction comes from. Okay. In the dark, it's more likely that you notice light. Mm-hmm. In the light, more likely that you notice night. Again, we're going like kind of back and forth between these two polar opposites. And in that chapter 2 of the Tao Te Ching, it says things very similar, right? The very first line, when Lao Tzu starts to talk about it, he says, once you apply the concept of beauty to a thing, ugliness arises. Right? So Yeah, and that's what we do in this lower reality, right? We're labeling things, right? We're actually causing the mind to become more confused by doing so. But in this lower reality, we're compartmentalizing, right? We're putting things in these little categories to help us better understand them. Obviously in that higher state, right? In that transcendent state, beauty and ugliness doesn't exist, right? There's nothing for the mind to kind of try to grasp onto. If it does, then you're not in that state, right? So anyway, hungry, more appreciation for that meal. Dead broke, more appreciation for that grill. All right, so when you're hungry, you notice, right? When you're hungry, the things taste better. I could probably go off on this about taking time, right? When we're really hungry. Well, I don't know about you, but for me, when I'm like really hungry, I oftentimes don't even think about what I'm eating, and that is not prayerful at all. Right? We talk about sincerity in prayer. It's going to be the same thing when you eat your food. Yeah, and Diana will tell me, right? Take a breath, John. Take it easy, right? You just don't want to just hawk it all down. It's not good for your digestion as well. You want to learn to savor, because savoring is that thoughtful prayer, right? During a meal. A bad day will make you really notice ones that's good, and you'll make things a little better understood. All right, so a bad day, unfortunately, right, we're more likely to notice the bad than the good. That's the way the human mind is set up. It's way most kind of sentient minds are set up, right? Because we need to survive. Right? So we notice the bad things, we want to avoid them, and they stick with us. Right? Some scars are a lot stickier than the things that happen that are good. All right. So a bad day will make you. That's good. So again, looking at this these polar opposites. We want to think about this in terms of one moment to another. We're kind of talking about this concept in our Sunday talks in the Bhagavad Gita. That every moment is renewal. So you have this bad moment, right? In yoga, we have this bad moment, this bad series of events. We have the will to turn it around or look back on it and get out of it what we need and turn it into something good, right? Okay. Well, you know what? That's a good place to end the talk, right? Because I'm well over my normal time. I'm pushing this 20-minute mark already. Well, let's get to the pranayama part of things, okay? So sit up nice and tall. All right, ears and shoulders and hips aligned. Relax your face. Right? Maybe you take Gyan Mudra, right? But certainly take Jalandhara Bandha. Chin down, chest up. Today, we practice the extreme. Things are actually become imbalanced here. And I think about if you listen to the song, or if you listen to Gifted Gab at all, or Blackalicious at all, and hear how Gifted Gab sings, you'll understand why I'm doing this pranayama. Because his inhales are very short, right? Not in terms of timing, not volume. Right? We're trying to maintain in equal volume, but the pace varies from inhale to exhale, okay? So we're going to do like a ratio of 1 to 5 on our inhales to our exhales, meaning my count for our inhales is going to be a 2 count, and our exhales is going to be a 10 count. So it's like inhale 2, 1, exhale 10, 9, 8. So we have to get that volume in, right? We've got to get that volume. Right? You think about a rapper like Gifted Gab that's really putting together complicated lyrics. The breath has to be quick, and those exhales have to be controlled as he's singing. Now I'm going to start things out balanced, right? And then we'll go through 3 rounds of this uneven breath, and then we'll get back into that even breath. All right. Let's try it. Sit tall, chin down, chest up, Let's first inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now, inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do your best. Inhale for 2, 1. Exhale, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 1. Exhale, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 2, 1. Exhale, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now loosen control of your breath. Keep your eyes closed and let your mind stay focused on your breathing. Just take a few moments of quiet reflection. Exhale. Deep inhale, shoulders rise. Exhale out through your mouth. Roll your shoulders back and down. And you can blink your eyes open. And I want to thank you for joining me this morning or whatever time it might be where you might be watching this. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day. Peace.